Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. DStyle here. Make sure you throw a jab at the like button if you're listening on the archive right now. Share this video on your social media platforms, and most importantly, the message on your social media platforms. Let's talk about flawless victory syndrome. Let's have a dialogue about it. I don't know how long this video is going to go, but what we're going to do is, just start it, and I'll do continuous, not just videos about it, but talk about it on the shows and just kind of go from there. All right. This is something that this sport is going through. It is real, and it's hurting the sport of boxing. And it's because of the boxing fans. Not all of us, of course. But it's hurting the sport. Flawless victory syndrome. And I'll explain what it is. I've gone over it before. But sit down. Have a listen. Whether you're drinking H2O, whether you're drinking a beer, some wine or some shit, I don't care. Pinky up, drinks, mugs, whatever it is. Check this out. Hit my like button if you're live. Wheelchair Man John, A-Rod, and Paul in the building. Check it out. Check this out, guys. All right. Let me just do this really quick. Here are some signs. Just some quotes, Some signs that you may suffer from flawless victory syndrome. Just a few. Quote, he got hit by a British dude. Unquote. If you find yourself saying things like that, you probably suffer from flawless victory syndrome. You just don't know it. Quote, he won, but he got hit to the body in the third round. Unquote. If you find yourself saying something like this, you're probably suffering from flawless victory syndrome. Quote, Bud Crawford got dropped by a Eurobum. Unquote. If you find yourself saying something like that, you probably suffer from flawless victory syndrome. Quote, those lower weight class guys, they keep taking losses. Unquote. If you find yourself saying something like that, you're probably suffering from flawless victory syndrome. Quote, I checked BoxRec, man. He had a loss in 2012. If you find yourself saying things like that, if you've caught yourself uttering words like that, you probably suffer from flawless victory syndrome. More than likely. Flawless victory syndrome, the belief that fighters need to have zero losses and avoid getting hit in the boxing ring at all costs. Terms like, quote, he got hit though, unquote. Quote, he got exposed, he got dropped, unquote. And, quote, there's a blueprint to beat him, unquote, are used often. Usually it's Mayweather fans that believe he never got hit And none of his wins could have gone the other way, like Jose Luis Castillo, for example. The sport of boxing suffers because these fighters want to look flawless as possible and keep their zero. Let's end flawless victory syndrome. We need to end this. It's a poison to the sport, is what it is. Not to mention, people are very selective when they want to, exercise their flawless victory syndrome. But some are not. This is honestly what was left behind of the Mayweather era. Regardless of how you personally feel about Mayweather, there is a negative effect going on right now. I'm not even going to blame Mayweather. I'm going to blame the fans that keep exercising this flawless victory syndrome. That's who I'm going to talk about. There's a blueprint to beat him. He's exposed. He ain't that good. That guy's a Eurobum. Oh, those Japanese. I mean, he struggled against a Japanese fighter. Remember when Theo Lopez had a tough fight with Nakatani? All I heard was, but he had a tough fight with Nakatani. I mean, that's a Japanese dude. I struggle against a Japanese dude. Now, Nakatani's name was, John Johnson from somewhere in the United States of America, and he gave Theo Lopez a tough fight, right? He'd be getting pumped up right now. There's no doubt about that. It wouldn't take a win over Verdejo for people to say, you know what? Hey, that Japanese dude, he could thump a little bit, eh? How about that dude? Hey, the samurai ain't playing around. You know what I mean? And he slayed Verdejo. And then all of a sudden, okay, maybe we're looking at it the wrong way. Maybe it's not that Teofimo Lopez was overrated or exposed. Maybe it's just a fucking fight in the ring. And people are going to get hit because it's boxing. No other sport does this. No other sport. You will not find me. Go prove it to me. Find me another sport where dudes show up, right? And they critique the fuck out of their athletes like we do ours, like this, right? Roger Federer, man. Yeah, he won, but he barely escaped with that victory in the semifinal. I don't think he's for real. He got exposed right there. Right? You're just not going to find it in other sports. It's not going to happen. It's not the way it is. People got it all wrong. It's just that Nakatani isn't like he's not just going to let himself get hit. He's going to hit you back. But people have revisionist history anyway. Mayweather did get hit. Chop Corley hurt him. Almost chopped his head off. The Drunken Master had Floyd Mayweather doing a stanky leg. Nose bleeding and all. Had him all. He was battering him up at times. Now, Mayweather overcame that. But you see, in those days, from what I remember anyway, there wasn't social media at the time. Nobody was saying, oh my God, Mayweather, he got exposed. Oh, Mayweather, he ain't that good. He's just not that good. Mayweather's not good at all. Look, he got hit. He got punched in the face. He got blooded up by the Drunken Master. Chop Corley almost had him out, guys. I don't know, man. I don't know about this Mayweather guy. No. You know what people did? They said, hey, that was a nice learning experience. He survived that. He showed us heart. He showed us grit. I don't know because boxing fans are jaded. I don't know what it is, but we look at everything, almost everything, from the negative point of view first. You know why? Because everything is responsive. That's why. That's why. Shout out to Theo Media, A-Rod, Guido, Haplotype, Memo Castro, Punch Drunk Boxing in the building. Look, this is hurt the sport, guys. Imagine you're like a casual fan, right? Imagine like, for whatever reason, you heard about this kid, Ryan Garcia. Well, I keep hearing about this kid, and let's say you saw him like hanging out with Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and you never watched boxing in your life. Let's just imagine this for a moment, right? And so you tune in, right? And the zone tells you he's going to fight a gold medalist from England, right? And you see him get dropped. You see him get back up, right? And he comes back, hits him with a body shot, gets him out of there, right? Let's just say that's what happens, right? Now, a normal person will be like, man, that was great. Like, man, he got back up. He's going to go tell his friend, man, you should have seen it, bro. He got knocked down. He got back up, man. He got back in the fight. You know, it looked like he lost some energy there. Then he came back, hit him with a nice body shot, and knocked him down, right? And you're excited. You want to know about boxing now. Now your juices are flowing. You know, you're at the brink of becoming a fan, right? And then you log on YouTube. You put Ryan Garcia boxing, and then what happened? You see, all you see are thumbnails of Ryan on the ground, right? Ryan Garcia got exposed, or Ryan ain't shit. When you click on a video and you hear this guy that you suppose, and this guy knows his boxing, right? This was a boxing channel, right? Oh, man, let me tell you, Ryan Garcia ain't shit. He got dropped by a Euro bum. Okay, Campbell ain't shit. I wouldn't rate that dude, okay, in any day of the week. He ain't shit. All of a sudden, your perception of what you saw has changed dramatically. Like, man, I got all excited, but they're telling me to do it ain't shit. They're telling me Ryan hasn't fought anybody yet. But I heard that it was a gold medal. That doesn't matter. Like, what? You're going to question everything about the sport now. So like, being a gold medalist doesn't mean shit now then, right? Being a ranked top 10 fighter doesn't mean shit all of a sudden, all right? Just because somebody gave you their opinion, right? That was induced in flawless victory syndrome, which is a pathetic and unrealistic level and standard to hold the sport on, right? Find me a fighter that never got dropped and never got hit, right? Find me that fighter and show him to me. I want to see him. I know that dude existed. I know a fighter existed like that at all, right? Let's say like the first time you saw boxing, for whatever reason, right? Like a lot of my little cousins, right? They're like, hey, have you seen that boxer? I think his name is Theo Lopez or something like that. You know? He does some crazy dances. What are the dances called? I forget the name of the dances, but the Fortnite. Oh, he does the Fortnite dances, man. You should check him out, bro. He just knocked a dude out, like smooth out. Hey, you should see him. The dude's got power. I seen him knock dudes out with a hook. I seen him knock dudes out with a right hand. Okay, I seen him knock dudes out with body shots. I seen him get KOs. I seen him get TKOs. I mean, man, and then you get excited. Holy shit, man, I got to check this dude out, right? And then you find out he's going to fight a champion, you know, a warrior from Ghana. You know, Comey, you know, and you're just hearing like, oh, man, here we go. And then he knocks the dude out. You get excited. Yes. Man, that was unbelievable. He knocked him down, had Comey do like front flips and shit, got back up, finished him. You're excited. You go to YouTube. you start typing down like Theo Lopez, like breakdown, right? And the first thing you hear, yeah, but Comey wasn't shit. Everybody knows Comey's a bum. If you know boxing, you know that Comey ain't shit and Teofimo Lopez ain't shit. He got lucky. That was a lucky punch. There was no skill. He just threw the right hand. He just landed it and knocked him out. Let's say that's the only thing you hear. You're going to be like, oh, well, fuck that shit. Like, I guess it's all hype. Fuck this bullshit. You know what I mean? Fuck this shit. If that's what you saw, or you see the Nakatani fight, right? And it's a good fight. And all you hear is, oh, but he lost a Japanese. Man, he struggled against a Japanese dude. Yo, let me tell you something, man. The name Nakatani, come on. What do you mean the Japanese dude? Oh, he lost a Oh, dude, he struggled against a Japanese dude. I don't know, man. If that's the only thing you hear, if that's the first thing you land on, you know how many MMA fans like they start hearing about fighters, right? And they're like, hey, is that dude for real? Right? And the only thing they hear is, oh, but he just fought a bum. I mean, Comey's a bum for real. Nakatani ain't shit. I mean, the dude's from Japan. If that's the message you relay to people, then it's going to reinforce the whole, see, these boxers, man, they're just coddled. They don't fight anybody. And they just, that you're going to reinforce that. That's what you reinforce when you do that. Shout out to G Funky. That's what you reinforce. That's not good for boxing. That's not what we want to see. What's shout out to NYY Mex? How's it going? That's not something we want, man. That's not good for the sport. It just isn't. Now, am I saying lie to people? Right? I'm not saying call Nakatani the greatest fighter that ever lived now. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. Right? I'm not saying let's act like Comey, it's like a Zuma Nelson 2.0. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, at least acknowledge that these guys are champions. At least acknowledge that in boxing, guys get hit. It's normal to get hit. It's normal to get knocked down. It's normal. These unrealistic expectations of don't get hit. If you get knocked down by this nobody, then you ain't shit. All right? Just think about it. Like if your favorite fighter, if you believe Tank Davis is the best lightweight in the world, or you believe that Haney is the very best lightweight in the world, let's say you believe that, right? Let's say that's what you genuinely believe. Shitting on the entire division, it's not going to make them look any good if they do happen to conquer the division. If Tank Davis, becomes the man at at lightweight, well, you shitting and pretending like there's only 2-3 good fighters in every division isn't helping matters. Casuals are going to look at that and say, yeah, well, but I mean, nobody's really good, really. I mean, who's good? And they're all a bunch of bums anyway, right? What we need to do is accurately portray the sport. No one's saying to lie. Nobody's saying exaggerate. But we could tell the truth, and here's the truth. Boxing's hard. Reaching the top 25 in the rankings alone is extremely difficult. If anybody could do it, a lot of people would do it. There's a lot of money to be made. Like if boxing was so easy, like you do know the top boxers make like 6 figures, right? A lot of them make millions. If it was so easy, a lot of dudes would do it. All right? It was that easy. There's guys that put in 6 mile runs of road work every day, right now, all over the world, trying to reach the mountaintop. It's not easy getting to the top 25. It's not. And of course, it's even harder to get to the top 10. The top 5, even harder. I mean, that's obvious, okay? But I listen to boxing channels out here that make it sound like all the 2,000 lightweights in the world are all a bunch of bums, all of them. And the dude ranked and Luke Campbell, right? It's just average. Oh, he's just an average fighter. He's average. Luke Campbell's an average fighter. No, what you've done is, okay, what you've done is make the sport seem a lot smaller than it really is. That's all you've done. You have, okay, you have simplified it to the point of retardation is what you've done. And you're not doing the sport any justice by doing so. Right? You're giving the impression to people, especially to casuals that don't really understand the sport, that, we just don't got any good fighters in boxing. Yeah, I've heard people say, the only good fighters at lightweight really are just Devin Haney, Teofimo, and maybe Tang, but everybody else just fucking sucks, dude. They ain't shit. Did you see how Luke Campbell? I don't even know what people see in that guy. That guy sucks. Do you not understand how much damage you do and how much of a disservice you do to the sport and to your favorite fighters? You're basically telling the world, okay, that Tank Davis, all right, is participating basically by himself. It reminds me of when one of my little cousins who lived in Colorado, right, joined the Golden Gloves, and there was nobody to fight. And they gave him a first place trophy and shit. I called him, hey, how'd it go? Primo, there was nobody to fight, Primo, but they called me the champion, But no, he wasn't happy about that. He wanted to compete, obviously, okay? I don't know why they gave him a trophy, but there was nobody to fight. But you're basically telling people that that's what Tank's doing. Tank's participating in the sport, or Haney, or whoever your fighter is. You're basically telling people that they're participating in a non-competitive sport. That all the 2,000 lightweights in the world aren't shit. There's only 2 good ones in the entire fucking sport. No. Your ignorance, okay, on the sport is irrelevant to me. That's what it is. You being ignorant on who dudes are, right? It's not proof that they're bums or that they ain't shit. That's not what that means at all, right? The reality is, right, that the dude that's ranked 25 in the world is one tough motherfucker. And that's the way it is, all right? We watch boxing on TV, right? So we just watch the top boxers. So that's why it's easy for us to look at it from that lens and make it seem like, oh, it's a piece of cake in there. It's not a piece of cake in there. It's not. Period. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If you're out here calling Luke Campbell a Euro bum and that he wasn't shit, this, that, and the third, then I'm sorry. You are a problem with the sport. Luke Campbell doesn't have to be better than a Devin Haney or better than a Tank Davis or better than Teofimo Lopez or better than Ryan Garcia, who he lost to, or Lomachenko, who he lost to, or even Lanata. He doesn't have to be better than those guys to be a good fighter. It doesn't mean he can't stylistically give problems to other guys. And if he happens to drop Ryan Garcia, that doesn't mean Ryan Garcia is a trash fighter, that he got exposed. Maybe it just means that it's a fucking fight. Maybe that's all it means. Chuck Webner wasn't supposed to drop Muhammad Ali, but he did. Ali got back up and beat his ass, right? Now, I'm not comparing Ryan Garcia to Muhammad Ali. But if you're out here trying to preach to people that, that's it, guys, it's over for Ryan because, he got dropped by Lou. All right, well, you could say whatever you want. Look, Andre Ward was hurt, and I believe, he was dropped by somebody who wasn't supposed to be dropped by before he became a world champion. But he overcame it, and he learned from that experience. A lot of guys go through this test. A drunken master wasn't supposed to hurt Floyd Mayweather, right? He wasn't supposed to do that. But he did. Maybe shit just happens. Maybe Luke's is better than you think he is. Maybe you're just dumbing down the sport. Maybe you're trying to make the boxing world seem a lot smaller than it really is. Maybe that's all you're doing. You ever thought about that? So what if Ryan can't beat a Tank Davis? Let's say he can't. What's the big fucking deal? So let's make the fight. I don't give a fuck. We'll keep it moving. You know what I mean? There we go. Thank you, Grape Jack. I couldn't remember the name. And that same guy, by the way, hurt other fighters. I believe hurt Kovalev too. And Stevenson, if I'm not mistaken. Shit happens in boxing. Shit happens. Right? If you're going to use the argument that, like, oh, well, why do people make fun of Wilder's windmills and wild punches? He was an Olympian. He won a bronze medal. You're not an Olympian if you're a bum, right? Which I agree with. Yes, being an Olympic athlete is impressive. Well, why doesn't that apply to Luke Campbell? The USA got to participate in that same division that Luke Campbell won in, right? Now, I understand amateur is different to pros. It doesn't always translate. I get all that. But flawless victory syndrome is real, ladies and gentlemen. It's real. And we have these unfair, honestly, and it's all going to come to pass because, let me tell you something. There is something really true about the whole, a lot of this Mayweather fan base never saw their guy, at least officially, lose. Okay, to me, he lost the Castillo fight. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, but he could, he could argue he won as well. So it's all good, right? Oh, the shoulder, but his shoulder was hurt. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay, look, I think he got hurt in the fight, but that's a different story, right? Let me tell you something. A lot of these guys are going to lose. It's the way it's going to happen. I don't live in a delusional world where I believe that Theo Lopez is never going to lose. He may not, I don't know, but I'm not like believing, oh, this guy cannot be beat. He'll never lose. Like I don't think that way. I'll see who he fights and I'll assess it from there. If I favor him, I favor him. If I don't, I don't. But I don't need to think about whether he's going to lose in the future or not, because I know that it's boxing. I know a lot of shit could happen in the sport. Okay, one punch can change everything, right? So he is in that sport. So if he loses, he loses. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that way. My mind is not wired to try and presuppose whether a guy's going to lose in the future or not. That's not how I'm wired. A lot of people, however, are wired to think, my guy's never going to lose. You do realize that the more you shit on fighters, right? The more your fight is going to get shit on when he loses. Just the way it is, right? A lot of people thought Adrian Broner was going to be the next Mayweather, right? And I was here, I know. There was people saying that Mayweather was the next Floyd Mayweather. Oh, this guy, he makes it look so easy. Look how I beat DeMarco. It was so easy, right? Oh, all work is easy work. Marcos Maidana. I told people, hey, it's going to be a tough fight, man. Don't sleep on Maidana. Oh, but Maidana lost. There's a blueprint to beat him. Adrian Broner's undefeated. Easy work. You see how Devin Alexander beat him? I'm just telling you guys right now. He's training with Robert Garcia. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. You better, like, watch out with Maidana. Nah, man. There's no way to beat. Let me tell you something, man. The skills pay the bills. Now, the purse you make pays the bills. Okay? That's what pays the bills. Well, what happened? Reality check. Broner was almost like in shock too after the loss. You know, like he was like walked out of the ring. He was like almost in a daze. I can't believe I just lost. This wasn't supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to lose my O. Mayweather never lost his O. Why did I lose my O? Because it's perfectly normal to lose in boxing. That's why. Okay? People lose. Devin Haney will lose one of these days. Tank Davis, let me tell you something. Punchers always lose, right? It's a good run, but I could go through a list of them. The day comes when they lose, all right? A lot of these fighters you guys are, pushing out here are going to lose, and it's okay. Just like it was okay when Wilder lost. It was okay. It's okay to lose. Teofimo Lopez will lose one day. You know what? It'll be okay. If they don't, they don't. Some guys retire undefeated. They do, right? But what we need to do as fans is stop having these unrealistic expectations. A guy gets hit in a fight. I saw Virgil Ortiz get all types of hate in his last fight. Oh, but Virgil, I know, man. He was getting hit to the body, bro. Like if that was a top welterweight, I don't think he'd get out. Like, really? I saw a dude say, this is what I heard him say. I swear to God. I heard a dude say the following. I question Virgil Ortiz's skills because Vargas had his guard down and was open to the hook all night. And it took him, like, what was it, like 7 rounds or whatever? Whatever it was, or whatever the amount of rounds it was, to figure out that the hand was down to land the hook. You're telling me that Virgil Ortiz was right in front of the dude, right? The professional boxer, right? A dude that never boxed in his life wants to tell me that the professional boxer was in front of his opponent and didn't realize that the hand was down and open and get hit with a hook. That's what you're telling me right now. This is the type of shit we got to hear. You see what it is? It's that the higher you go in levels in boxing, all right, the target, right, it's not going to be where it is when you start throwing the punch. You got to start aiming and throwing to where the guy's going to be, right? Hey, but D-Style, you don't understand D-Style. Virgil Ortiz, he got hit to the body. So everybody gets hit, dude. Everybody gets hit. Robert Guerrero hit, Floyd Mayweather to the body early in the fight. So these guys are going to get hit. That's why they train. That's why they do the road work, right? That's why they do those crutches, man. And that's why they spar. That's why they hit the mitts. That's why they get hit with a medicine ball doing, sit-ups and shit. That's why they do it. Because you're going to get hit. So, it's going to come down to your conditioning, what type of shape you're in. Some guys just get hit. I saw nonstop videos. Let me tell you about, remember when I said people have selective. Okay, they're very selective when it comes to, flawless victory syndrome. Let me give you a classic example of it. Ramirez, right? Unified champion, right? Knocked out Hooker in a spectacular fight, right? All I heard, Postal, he exposed Ramirez. Oh, man, Ramirez got to go back, man. He's got to work on his defense because he was getting hit so much. Let me say this. Nobody's saying that fighters can't go to a drawing board, can't improve certain things and stuff like that, right? Nobody's saying that. I just want to make sure people understand this, okay? But there's people out here that they wanted Ramirez to change his whole style, change who he is. Not work on his strengths and try to polish up on some of his weaknesses. No. He that style ain't gonna work, man. He's got to change that shit. He's getting hit too much. Postal exposed him. He's not gonna last 3 rounds with Taylor. What the fuck are these guys talking about? Like what? Postal isn't some chump, okay? Postal is a really good fighter. All right. So here we go again. Like this idea that like there's only 1 or 2 dudes that are good at 140 and everybody else is just a bunch of fucking bums. Are you kidding me? Furthermore, just do this. Just look for, all right, look for Taylor versus Postal 7th round. Go look for it. Plus, I could tell a lot of these dudes that started watching Josh Taylor, the first time they saw him was when he fought Prograis. Okay, that's number 1. Okay, I could tell they never saw the Postal fight. I could fucking tell. But Ramirez was supposed to knock this dude out, man. He was supposed to dominate Postal. Says who? Who, you? Josh Taylor didn't dominate Postal. Some people feel Postal won that fight. Postal had Taylor hurt in the 7th round on Queer Street, was lighting him up like a Christmas tree. Hey, that rhymes. I didn't see anybody say, let me tell you something, man. You got to work on this shit. No, you know what it is? These guys are human. Ramirez fights the way he fights, man. That's just how he fights. If you want Ramirez to fight like Mayweather, he wouldn't beat anybody if he fought that way. Okay? If Jose Ramirez attempted to fight like Floyd Mayweather Jr., he wouldn't beat anybody that way. Go ask Andre Berto when he tried that shit fighting Robert Guerrero. Right? Ramirez is who he is. Right? That's how he fights. He's got one of the best trainers in the game. Fighters are going to make mistakes in the ring, okay? Fighters are going to show vulnerabilities in the ring. If fighters never made mistakes and everybody fought perfect and like nobody would ever hit each other, we never see a fucking black eye, nobody would ever get chin checked, okay? And every fight would go to decision with like no punches landed, if nobody made mistakes, if everybody fought flawless and nobody got hit. Okay, like is that the sport you want or what? No, we watch it for drama. We watch it for the fun of it. We watch it for great fights. And the fact that these fighters are human, they get tired, they get hit. That's the sport. That's the sport we're watching. So Claudio, how you doing? Great Trank, how are you? Hey, Great Trank. Those are facts right there. You know? What's going on? Duval, how you doing? But Batista, McGregor landed an uppercut. Yeah, Mayweather got hit with an uppercut by McGregor. Who cares? Fighters get hit. Fighters lose. And let me tell you why I'm preaching about this, guys. You know why? Let me tell you why before I close this out. It's Sunday. I want to go do some shit, but let me tell you why. There's a reason a lot of these fights don't happen. There's a reason a lot of managers and promoters, like they take too long to marinate shit, or shit never happens. And there's a reason a lot of these fighters get padded records. Those are the things really hurting the sport. Fighters not challenging themselves, not wanting to lose that O, padding their record. That's what's really hurting the sport. And why is that happening? Because they don't want to get clowned if they lose. They'll rather look dominant and flawless against some dude that's just not up there in the rankings, doesn't belong in the ring with them. They'll rather do that than actually test themselves with somebody around their ranking in the top 10 or top 5. Because they might get chin checked and dropped. And people will start questioning if they're the real deal or not. Because they might lose. And now they don't have the O. You can't say you're undefeated anymore. Right? A lot of fighters are worried about that. They think about these things. They know what fans are saying. They know how fans clown them. They see other dudes get clowned because they struggled against somebody, or like they see all these things. So a lot of these guys, that's why a lot of these fights don't happen. That's why. That's why these things happen. As fight fans, especially us hardcores, we have to start finding a better way to express to people that getting hit is perfectly normal. That when a grown-ass man punches you in the fucking jaw, right, it can buzz the fuck out of you or probably knock you out. That a good body shot could just suck your wind out, and you're just going to have that human moment. That a guy could lose, and he could still come back, and back again. Bernard Hopkins lost his first professional fight. Guess what? He kept coming, right? Salvador Sanchez lost early in his career. Did in the grand scheme of things, did it matter? No. We've got to start referring to losses that, it's a blueprint to beat them. No, you know why? Because sometimes guys can lose and they can learn from that loss and they become better fighters because of it. We understand this in every other sport, right? But for some reason, boxing fans can't grasp it with boxing. Sometimes a loss actually gets a dude to fix their flaws faster, because now no one has to convince them that they had flaws and that they got to fix some things. Now with the loss, it's confirmed to them. You know what? Hey, I lost, right? Now Ryan is going to be more inclined to fix those deficiencies, like having his chin up in the air, especially when he backs up, right? He's going to have to now, maybe my reflexes aren't going to work all the time. And now no one has to try and convince me. I've experienced it now. And I don't know if I want to get chin checked like that. I want to reduce the chances of that happening again. Let me work on that. Let me improve that. Marcos Maidana He got beat by Devin Alexander. Then he went with Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia, he worked on Maidana's jab to improve and be more consistent with the jab and to work on game plan, right? And a guy that was known as a quote-unquote brute and just a brawler, right, did something scientific in the ring, right? He was throwing hard jabs to the body, he feinted the jab, then he came upstairs with the hook, right? Broner didn't see it coming. The guy known, the undefeated guy, the guy that never lost, you know what I mean? He out-scientific'd him, right? This is a sport where the athletes could improve. This is a sport where the athletes could get better. That's what the sport is. That's the truth in every sport. If a fighter loses, he loses. That's why I don't care if they do Tank versus Ryan Garcia next. I'm not here to protect dudes' O's. All right? I'm not. If Ryan Garcia wants to fight Tank and Tank wants to do it, let's do it. If he wants to fight David, that's fine, right? I'm hearing too much. I don't know. I don't know if Ryan's ready for Tank. Well, if he's not ready, he's not ready. But if he is, right? If he loses, he can go back to the drawing board, become a better version of Ryan Garcia, improve and come back. The same with Tank. The same with all these guys. Okay? This protecting the O thing, all it's doing. Imagine like if football teams like try to protect their O. You know what I mean? And they could like pick and choose and not play this team or that team. And they didn't even care about getting to the Super Bowl. They just want to protect the O. You know what I mean? Like, we're not ready for the Chiefs, man. Well, we're going to pass on this Sunday's game. What do you mean you're not ready for the Chiefs? You're scheduled? Nah, we're not ready. We're 3-0. Yeah. Well, we'll wait till next week. Who to play next week? Who to play? The Cowboys. All right. Well, yeah, we'll play the Cowboys. We got the Cowboys next week. Fucking end the NFL season and shit like 6-0, right? Hey, man, you can't even make the playoffs, man. You play enough games. Hey, but we got that O, though, right? Team wins the Super Bowl. Yeah, but they won the Super Bowl, but, man, they had 3 losses in the season. Imagine with this shit like this in other sports. No other sport does this. I know, like tennis players, don't go and play in the U.S. Open, right? And just like not play Roger Federer because they're not ready yet. Like you know what? I am 2-0 in the U.S. Open. I think I'm gonna pass. Give Roger Federer the bye week. I'm not ready yet. No, you play Roger Federer. Maybe you beat him. Maybe you don't. But by the way, is Roger Federer even playing anymore? I don't even know, by the way. Okay, but by playing that level of guy, you learn things. You go back, right? Watch the film and be like, oh, look at that little trick that motherfucker did on me. Oh, shit, okay. I got to work on that now. You know what I mean? Look at when he did the backswing, and he knew that my ankle to turn this way, and I didn't have enough time to pivot this way. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. And you can maybe take some shit from that. And that's what it's all about. That's what sports is. That's what it is. At the end, I just want these guys to fight each other. Imagine Morales and Barrera and Pacquiao and Prince Nassim Hamed. Remember those featherweights, right? Pacquiao kind of came a little after them, but could imagine they never fought each other. Like, could you just imagine like they were just protecting their O's and Morales was like, I'm the A side, Barrera. I mean, the dude retired after he lost to Junior Jones. I beat Junior Jones. This dude lost to Junior Jones. I beat Junior Jones. Well, you guys are fools if you think you can beat me. Can't beat me. I beat Junior Jones already. Barrera, look at this dude. Right? No, you know what happened? They actually fought each other. Okay? That's what they did. Can you imagine if Pacquiao was just like, come on, why am I going to fight Morales for? I destroyed Barrera. All right? I'm the A side. What's up, Morales? You can't beat me anyway. You lost to Barrera. Like this, just how about everybody just fights everybody? How about that? You know, how about that? Same at heavyweight. Everybody's getting into these arguments about who should fight next, and no, you better not fight undisputed. You a Wilder trilogy now, right? Like, okay, fine, but at the end of the day, right? What if? Just what if? This is what if? What if Wilder just can't beat Fury, right? And what if Joshua beats Fury, and then like Wilder beats Joshua, right? And then you have like this fucking situation where like, you know, guy A beats guy B, and guy B beats C, and C beats A, and then like it's like this whole thing. Like we can get there if they just start fucking fighting each other, okay? Because sometimes, like Traveso Arce once said, el boxeo no tiene lógica. Like sometimes there's no logic in boxing, you know? Like there's nothing on paper that let anybody think, right, that Mayorga could beat Vernon Forrest, right? Nothing on paper made people, oh yeah, that dude's going to beat Vernon Forrest for sure. You know what I mean? Especially after what Vernon did to Shane Mosley twice, right? But what happened? He got in the ring and he beat him not once but twice. So who's to say? We can sit here all day, but this guy beat that guy, so this guy's not going to beat this guy. Who gives a fuck, right? Let's just get the ball rolling, right? Maybe Tank does beat Ryan Garcia, and then maybe Haney beats Tank, and then Garcia beats Haney. You just don't fucking know. Let's just get him in the fucking ring and let's just fight, right? Hashtag keep it moving. We just got to keep it moving. That's all we got to do. At the end of the day, can you imagine if Salvador Sanchez like called it a day? Like right after let's say he lost his first fight against like that, you know, early in his career, and he said, fuck, you know what? There's a blueprint to beat me now, so I'm gonna have to just, you know, quit the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? I got my L. Peace out. You know what I mean? No, you know what he did? He went back to the drawing board and he got better. He kept working on his craft, and look at what he did. A legend in the fucking sport. Could you imagine if Canelo just called it a day after he lost to Floyd? Chingados, ya hay un pinche blueprint. Ya valí verga, ya me voy. Could you imagine if Canelo just called it a day? That's it. There's a blueprint to beat me, and I got to get the fuck out of here. That's it. I'm done with boxing. No, you know what it did? He kept working on his craft. He kept getting better, right? That's what he did. And that's why he is where he is right now, right? Jermell Charlo, he lost to Harrison. Guess what? He came back. You know, he beat him in the rematch, all right? And look at him now. He's one fight away from becoming undisputed, you know? We got to stop thinking in protecting the fighters type of way. We got to stop having that mentality, right? We got to stop thinking like, you know, but what if he loses though? Okay, well, what if he does? What if he loses? It's not the end of the world if you lose, right? It just isn't. You just never know what could happen, right? At the end of the day. So let's look at it for what it is. You know, this sport, man. Let me tell you something about boxing, bro. It's a worldwide sport. If you look throughout all the weight classes, we have some amazing athletes in every fucking weight class from all over the world. It's a beautiful sport that should be celebrated. These guys are warriors stepping into the ring, putting it all on the line. Literally, they could die in the ring, right? I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just kind of painting a picture for you. And they do this for our entertainment. And I'm not saying that there's no room for critique and all that, because that's always part of boxing. I critique fight. We all critique fighters, right? But we need to stop shaming fighters for losing. Fighters that go for it, right? Even if they don't ultimately win, we need to praise guys that try to go for the glory. That's what we need to do. We need to praise guys that say, you know what? This is for all the fucking marbles. Let's go. I'm going all in. Let's go. Start praising the fighters that's, you know what? I'm down on this fight. My only shot to win is to try and knock this motherfucker out. Now, I might get knocked out, but I need to try to knock this motherfucker out. Right? Start praising those guys. Like, you know, let's say they show out. Let's say that, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go for it. And if they get knocked out, how about we don't clown them for trying to go for the win? Because I respect that way more, right? Than the motherfucker that plays it safe the last few rounds because he just wants to survive and go the distance. I respect that all day. The risk takers, right? Especially in this day and age where, you know, people clown fighters for losing and make it seem like the worst thing in the world and just for getting hit, like they make the biggest deal about it. It's time to applaud the risk takers, right? That's what we need to applaud. Okay, that's what we need to do. Ryan Garcia's young. Now, let me put it this way, like point blank. Let me just put it to you guys this way. How old is Caleb Plant? Somebody put it in the chat because I actually don't know. Is he 29, 28? Ryan Garcia just beat a better fighter than Caleb Plant has his whole fucking career. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. No, but Ustakati. Like, nah, fuck that shit, okay? The motherfucker's about to fight a dude that doesn't like belong in the ring with him right now. That's just the truth. He's 28. Ryan Garcia is in his early 20s, like 21 or some shit. He's a young kid. And people are like talking like, oh, this guy, he ain't shit. He hasn't proven anything. What about Caleb Plant? What about him? There's a lot of other dudes that haven't beat a guy of this caliber, especially not by knockout. But hey, it is what it is. With that said, guys, I do got to get going. I appreciate everyone that came in. Brown Unboxing, Claudio Monreal, A-Rod, 92-8KU, LT. How's it going? NYY Mex, Raider on here. All you guys, man. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in, of course, for this random ass fucking last minute video. But hey, Duval Grind MMA, all you guys, I'm gonna head out. If you came in late, just go back, listen to the archive from the beginning. We will continue this conversation, right? We'll continue talking about this in spots, of course. But I just kind of want everybody to know what I mean by flawless victory syndrome. That's all, right? I'm out. Peace.